by the CIA who has mastered brainwashing techniques.
Time good goes by so slowly. They never answered my question. It's not when you slowly. So you still didn't give me one example where evolution provides an example, an answer to where anything came from.
Because that's not what evolution is.
Well, I mean,
evolution has nothing to do with the origin.
That's called abiogenesis. Evolution is the change in species over time. Abiogenesis, A being without, bio, life, genesis, new. From non-life to life is what you're trying to argue. Okay, so where do you think life is?
I can tell you what I think, but I don't know. It's kind of a biochemistry lesson.
Yeah. Called chemistry. There's a reflux of very elementary particles that happen. There's the coacervation drop of food. Go ahead and look it up. It's totally fine. This I can't explain this to you without going into actual chemistry. I doubt, I assume you guys don't have a large grasp on biochemistry. Oh my god. Biochemistry is different from I know, but I have a basic understanding of this is real understanding of chemistry. So, you reject religion?
No.
You reject the claims of religion?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So,
I do not accept it.
Does it bother you that you have no explanation as to where anything came from?
Not really.
What purpose do you have in life?
What purpose do I have in life?
Yeah.
That's complicated. I think it's kind of irrelevant. But
No, it's not.
that's
what we're trying to use.
well, that's going to change over time too, right? If I suddenly have a daughter, well then, or a son or a child or anything, whatever, my entire perspective of what I want to do with my life suddenly changes. Don't you agree? Before you had your child, if you have a child, did you think that your life was going to go in a certain direction?
Yeah.
Have you always
Part of that was having children.
Okay, all right.
And I realize people change, but still, you got to have a purpose for your. You don't have to have a purpose for your life. But if Hitler had a purpose for his life, he thought.
Well, that's a fair example, isn't it?
Yes, he had a purpose, but his purpose was wrong, right?
It was certainly, deplorable.
So you wouldn't say that it was wrong or evil.
See, if I were going to do that, I would have to also then give you a giant, complicated structure called morality, which is something that I am not actually. I am not actually.
So you're not willing to outright say that any particular act is evil.
I'll even concede that.
Bombing the Boston thing.
Because the only reason I'll tell you this, the only reason I won't admit that is because what you're asking for is something very complicated. I can tell you what.
It's very simple.
Okay. It's very simple if you just assume, but if you try to demonstrate something, it's very complicated. And people talk about this in the philosophy building all day, so I don't think that's something I can just assume.
There is no morality apart from God. You will agree with that?
No.
So then where did morality come from then?
It's a social structure. It's something.
It came from where? It came from where?
But there's no absolute morality.
How did it evolve in your evolution theory?
Oh, it did evolve. That's the wonderful thing.
Well, then where did
You're
it
saying
evolve?
there's no absolute morality. Right?
I think that's what I should say.
And you're absolutely sure about that.
Okay, here we go. And you're absolutely sure. Then, what's the next one? What's the one-liner? Feed it to me.
I just gave it to you.
Okay.
Where did you say life began? How did life begin? What was your answer to that?
Well, the definition of life is actually debated.
Well, I'm not asking for the definition of life. When do you think it began?
Well, in order to say when life began, I would need to know exactly what life is. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, you're acknowledging that life exists, so how would you say it began?
So here's the question. Why are you arguing with us?
Oh, I didn't actually come here to argue. I came here to hand out information
He's coming to refute
about how
us.
free contraceptives lower abortion rates. And I was being accused of protesting.
Well, you know that what you've got on your shirt is actually,
Sorry?
you're actually breaking one of the Ten Commandments.
You mean I'm breaking something that's written in a really old book?
The moral law. It's called the moral law from the lawgiver, your creator.
I believe that the first 5 books of the Bible, the Pentateuch, were assembled in the Babylonian, what's it called? The Babylonian Exodus, where Israel was dominated by the Babylonians, but the Babylonians respected the Israelite rabbis. So they took them all in one place, and the rabbis said, hey, our people are in peril. We should stop bickering about what sort of religion we are and merge our books. And so all of the books in the first 5 books of the Bible were redacted into one text. But they all came from completely different places. Like, so this is an example of the Word of God being amended together by fallible men.
You know that they like to take these little children and people around them.
Sure, yeah.
Which means you're in rebellion. And it goes back to what I first was telling you. It comes back to your rebellion. Because you believe in the beginning dirt, and we believe in the beginning God. That is the major difference between your philosophy, because that's how evolution is.
Actually, there wasn't dirt. Dirt takes a long time to make.
Where did it come from? Yeah, exactly.
Well,
there's a maker.
it takes a long time to become produced, if you'd prefer.
So there's a producer.
No, there's a process that produces.
Okay, then who process earth?
Erosion.
I'd rather not
My
get into it. It
geologist
would
friend
take
here
way
will tell
too
you all
long.
about it.
Every time I try to go back to Christianity, I run up against something that makes me run the other direction.
I don't think
I've just
anyone
given
can
up.
give you that information.
Yeah, I took.
Well, it's much easier to argue your point when all it is just one point. I mean,
Once you
that
just
takes
accept God.
way less amount of knowledge
I
of
don't have
things
a lot
than
of
it would
problems
to
with the New
explain
Testament,
the process of
but
erosion and the origin of things.
Actually
Without the sign, he's still been walking around saying, what do you believe?
He was saying that to other people?
No, he doesn't have the sign.
Well, he's all right. He's doing okay without a sign. He's got you. You're kind of a sign.
Like this?
Well, just who you are. You know more Bible than they do.
I've been reading out of a little Bible.
Good. That's all right. You can use it again. Pass it out to somebody else.
But there's one laying on the floor. Maybe it's that one.
All right.
Guys, I'll stand.
Ready?